Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and earlier today we had a video coming out talking about some of the potential quest steps for the Draw, the exotic quest that will reward you with the Last Word exotic hand cannon. We have since learned even more about that quest, confirming both the quest steps we got in that video, as well as a few more lore bits that are going to be coming out with the Draw quest itself. So I wanted to make another video covering the quest for the Draw in its entirety. Everything that you'll be doing has been completely confirmed thanks to Ginsor, the guy who has been data mining Destiny 2 basically since it came out on PC. Additionally, we'll also be covering the Last Word's abilities and its stats towards the end of this video. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, Ginsor was nice enough to post this great infographic that gives you everything you need to know about the Draw, the Last Word exotic quest. It'll start out with what's called the Tainted Artifact. This item tells you that you'll need to seek the guidance of one who dabbles in the arcane to learn more. This unknown artifact seethes with an odd, familiar sickness. It's likely that this first quest step will have you simply go and talk to the Drifter. Next up, for part 2, we've got the Cleansing. Purge the artifact of its sickness. This states that some who walk a darker path believe what we call weapons of sorrow ain't a complete science. This artifact could be a key to a new understanding, if you're willing to risk temptation. We know this questline has a lot to do with the weapons of sorrow, which are those weapons that were corrupted by the Hive and are used to murder Guardians. As a matter of fact, part of this questline starts off with you finding a Titan helmet that's been punctured by a thorn bolt. And it definitely seems to be leading into a greater storyline that will be continuing within Joker's Wild. Anyways, once you've cleansed it, we can move on to step number 3, a cleansed artifact. The artifact is now cleansed, but what is its purpose? It comes with the flavor text, the artifact is free of disease now. I might be able to see what it's for. Bring it to me. Let's see how far down this dead end leads. This will take you into step number 4, the Temptation. Want to see what this artifact can do? Feed it light by defeating Guardians in the Crucible. Being defeated will impede progress. This is the flavor text. The 7th Book of Sorrow speaks of a great unmaking. Old friends of mine believe it's the blueprint for terrible weapons made in its name. I think they're mostly right. But to find out, some of your friends are gonna have to suffer. This is very reminiscent of the original Thorn quest back in Destiny 1, where you similarly had to head into the Crucible to take out other Guardians with progress that could be a bit impeded if you kept dying. Moving on, we've got step number 5, the Damnation. This is one of the ones we actually covered in the video earlier today. The artifact is calling to something dark. Uncover a dark ritual on Titan and stop the twisted ceremony. The artifact is in pain. Can you hear it? It's made to feed on light, and that light is feeding something other. The trail is faint, but the screams don't lie. Get to Titan. Answers wait where dead things play. And we know now that the Damnation is a mission where you'll be heading into a lost sector on Titan and interrupting a ritual. And it looks like step number 5 is where that's going to slip in. We do know that the Damnation is going to be a level 50, 650 power mission. At least that's what it is in the database. So make sure you're of appropriate light level before you take it on. Moving on, step number 6 is titled A New Jagged Purpose. You found a Guardian's helmet penetrated by a unique bullet. This is what we were talking about a bit earlier. A Jagged Purpose was the name of the item you got to start off the Thorn quest back in Destiny 1. And it looks like those weapons of sorrow might already be back in play. The artifact was part of a Hive ritual tied to their efforts to perfect the weapons of sorrow. But that helm you found? Only one thing can cut through a Guardian like that. We may be too late. New weapons may already be in play. This will lead you directly into step 7, which was covered in our video earlier, Sullied Light. This is going to be a multi-part quest step, which basically contains all the stuff in the video we had earlier today. The Hive Weapon Master is creating new weapons of sorrow. You need to stop it. Gather powerful objects to sully your light and complete the ritual. Collect etched crystals from Lost Sector wanted escapees. Earn multiple Best Served Cold and Blood for Blood medals in the Crucible. Defeat Hive with precision damage to collect larvae, and finally, sacrifice Hive bosses summoned in witches' rituals. So it turns out the 5 quest steps that were leaked earlier were actually all a part of step number 7 for the entirety of this quest, and there's actually much more to get done before you get your hands on the Last Word. This is it, Guardian, the furthest you've gone down Sorrow's road. There ain't no turning back. If the Hive are upgrading their arsenal, we need to know where and how so we can stop it and learn from it. Don't worry, the ritual won't make you a bad guy, it'll just feel like it. And I've got to say, you love the Drifter's interactions here throughout this quest. Moving on, we've got quest step number 8, Sorrow's Road. You have all you need to track the Hive Weapon Master. Using the thorn from your dead friend's helm and letting corruption touch your light ain't an easy call, but you didn't back down. Come see me and we'll track the weapon that fired that jagged bit of death. So it seems like this step is actually going to be rather simple. You'll probably just be returning to the Drifter after completing the Sullied Light quest. Moving on to step number 9, we have the Conversation. This is another one that we had learned about previously. Inkar, the Hive Weapon Master, is hiding in Hellrise Canyon in the Tangled Shore. Hunt him down. It's time to hunt us a Hive Weapons Master and put an end to whatever he's cooking up. This is where you get to be a hero, and we both get to learn a little bit more about things best left undiscovered. Careful out there. You'll be alone and the odds will be stacked. Hope you make it back. This is going to be that other mission where you're taking on Inkar, the Hive Weapons Master. It's going to be level 50, 650 power, and this will generally be the last big step of this quest. So there's no real surprise there. Once you've completed this and taken down Inkar, you will be on quest step number 10, A Darker Path. You defeated the Hive Weapon Master thanks to a mysterious gift, the last word. What would the Drifters say about that? And from there on, of course, your final quest step seems to be to return to the Drifter, who will probably make some comments about you wielding the weapon of the man who's hunting him down. But there we go, those are the steps for completing the quest, the draw, rewarding you with the last word. There's quite a bit more there than what we originally thought. But it's really awesome to see that you'll be interacting a lot with the Drifter throughout this. You're going to be getting letters from Shin Malphur throughout this as well, showing that he's not only aware of our Guardians, he's been watching our progress, and he winds up sending you the last word at the end of this. Which I think is really awesome. It would have been cool to run into him in-game, but I love that they're kind of incorporating some of these legendary characters into these exotic quests, and I cannot wait to see what happens with the Weapons of Sorrow and Joker's Wild. But there we go, you've completed this. Now let's take a look at the last word itself. Thankfully, we've got another infographic here showing off all of the perks as well as all of the stats for the weapon. It of course comes with Fanfire. This weapon can be fired quickly and continuously. Faster reload and increased accuracy on successive hipfire damage. This is very similar to its ability back in Destiny 1, where hip firing gave you better accuracy, better stability, and even some bonus damage. Everybody remembers the 111 headshots. It's also got corkscrew rifling for slightly increased range and stability, as well as slightly increased handling speed, accurized rounds for increased range, hipfire grip for better hipfire accuracy, and finally, textured grip, which greatly increases handling speed and slightly decreases stability. And as for the stats, you can take a look there. It's got 78 impact, 28 range, 46 stability, 28 for handling, 82 for reload speed, 11 for the zoom, 40 for the inventory size, an aim assist stat of 40, and a recoil direction of 100. This thing's going to kick straight up. The last word is in the 180 RPM archetype, which makes it a little bit slower, I do believe, than it was back in Destiny 1, although that might change when we actually get our hands on it. And it's got a magazine size of 8. Overall, it looks decent enough. Its stats definitely are going to be lacking when you compare it to something like the Luna's Howl or the Not Forgotten, but remember, the last word is meant to be an up-close Guardian Shredder. You're supposed to be able to burn people down who are within close to maybe close mid-range. I am a little bit bummed that it doesn't have the bonus damage on hipfire, although I wouldn't be too surprised to see that come as maybe a catalyst perk for the last word, since we do know that there was a new perk added in Forsaken titled High Noon. You can actually find this perk in the Destiny 2 database right now, and it reads like this: High Noon, legendary trait. Readying this weapon grants a brief period of bonus precision damage, and I really can't think of any weapon other than the last word that would fit on. Who knows, maybe we'll see that sometime in the future. Finally, of course, we've got a brand new ornament that's probably going to be tied to Eververse for the last word titled Laconic. We get a very quick look at the thumbnail for it. Very interesting name there. Laconic basically means a style of writing or speech that uses very few words. We as Guardians definitely use very few words, but I would definitely say we always have the last word. But alright Guardians, there we go. That's pretty much all the information we know about the draw, the last word, and what we'll be doing when January 29th rolls around. Some of this is very exciting. On that infographic, we get to see some of the lore and the letters that you'll be getting from Shin Malphur. I would definitely recommend going back, reading it. Links to all of this stuff, the infographics, the Reddit threads, all of it will be down in the description box below, so if you want to go download those and keep them on hand for when this quest comes out, you'll be able to. I would definitely recommend going and reading that lore. It's super good. Those letters from Shin Malphur are great. But alright Guardians, that's it for this one. That's how you can get your hands on the last word when the end of the month rolls around, and those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. Are you excited about the last word returning? What do you think about this quest having to do with the infamous Weapons of Sorrow. Do you think Thorn is really going to be returning in Joker's Wild? Be sure to let us know. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But alright Guardians, that is going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.